Hi boys and girls, this is Miss Black here, and today we are going to be continuing our lesson on understanding the concepts of volume. So to start our lesson off, we are going to look at different items that have a capacity and determine the appropriate cubic unit of measure that we would use to measure the capacity. So the units that we would be measuring capacity with would be centimeters cubed, meters cubed, inches cubed, feet cubed, or yards cubed. So looking at our first item, a small fish tank, which unit of measure would be best to measure the capacity of a small fish tank? If you thought inches cubed, you are correct. Inches cubed would be the best to measure the capacity of a small fish tank. Number 2, a semi-trailer. Which unit of measure would you use to measure a semi-trailer? You could measure a semi-trailer in feet cubed, yards cubed, or meters cubed. Okay, number 3, a food freezer. So to measure the capacity of a food freezer, which is larger than a small fish tank, but smaller than a semi-trailer, which unit of measure would you use? Feet cubed would be the best unit of measure to measure a food freezer. Number 4, the amount of concrete in the Hoover Dam. Which unit of measure would you use to measure the amount of concrete in the Hoover Dam? If you went with yards cubed or meters cubed, great job. Number 5, a salt shaker. A salt shaker is much smaller than a fish tank and everything else on this page. Which would be the best unit of measure to measure the capacity of a salt shaker? Centimeters cubed would be the best unit of measure. Okay? Now let's get real. A concrete truck poured a concrete slab for a park pavilion. How many cubic feet of concrete make up the slab? So remember, our formula for volume is volume equals length times width times height. Our length would be 20 feet. Our width would be 15 feet. And our height would be 2 feet. Now what we need to do is multiply those three numbers. I'm going to give you a minute to try to multiply those three numbers on a piece of paper. Okay, looking at the numbers, I know 20 times 15 would be 300. So now I need to take 300 times 2. 300 times 2 would be 600. So the answer to the problem would be 600 feet cubed. Oopsie, Sparky walked across the concrete slab. Okay, next, Sparky loves swimming in a backyard aquarium. What is the volume of the aquarium? Remember, our formula for volume is length times width times height. So our length would be 10 feet. Our width would be 4 feet, and our height would be 5 feet. So let's multiply those numbers together. 10 times 4 would be 40, and 40 times 5 would be 200. So the answer to the problem would be 200 feet cubed. Here are 3 different sized landscape paving bricks. find the total volume of all 3 bricks. So to find the total volume of this shape here, you are going to take and look at each brick separately. So let's look at this one on the far left and determine the volume of this brick alone. So our length would be 12 centimeters. Our width would be 8 centimeters. And our height would be 3 centimeters. So if we multiplied 12 times 8 times 3, we would have 288 centimeters cubed. Okay? Now we're going to look at the second brick. And that's the one in the center. We are going to find the length, which is 3 centimeters. The width, which is 10 centimeters, and the height, which is also 10 centimeters. So length, 3 times width, which is 10. 3 times 10 is 30. Now I just need to multiply 30 by the height. 30 times 10 would be 300 centimeters cubed. Here is our last paving brick. We need to find the volume of this paving brick. So our length is 9 centimeters. Our width is 6 centimeters, and our height is 6 centimeters. Okay, so I know 9 times 6 is 54. What is 54 times 6? If you got 324, you are correct. The volume of the third landscape paving brick is 324 centimeters cubed. Now that we found the volume of each individual landscape paving brick, to find the total volume of all 3, we just need to add the 3 numbers together. So 288 plus 300 plus 324 would equal 912 centimeters cubed. So the volume of the 3 landscape bricks would be 912 centimeters cubed. Boys and girls, if you have any questions on today's assignment, be sure to reach out to one of the teachers on their office hours. Thank you for joining. We will chat with you later.